Chapter concept for Corrupted Faith. First up, we have the new killer of the chapter, and that will be Valak, the Defiler, the prime evil of the Conjuring and Nun movies. Valak is a powerful and dangerous demon entity that appears in the form of a nun. Valak's primary ability will be called demonic possession. You toy with your prey, chipping away at their minds by haunting objects around them. By pressing and holding the power button, you can turn invisible. Only you can see yourself in this form, gaining undetectable for the next 4 seconds as you move in a shadowy form. Valak materializes and becomes stunned for a short duration if a possession does not occur during the 4 seconds. Keep in mind that you will not be able to attack whilst you are invisible. By charging directly at a wall or object while in your invisible state, you are able to possess that wall or object, being able to move within its boundaries as a shadow. If a survivor manages to look close enough, they will be able to see the shadow on larger surface areas such as walls. But if Valak possesses a smaller object, this will be quite difficult to note where Valak is possessing. A small note, Valak cannot possess the ground. By pressing the power button again, you can release yourself from the object and launch an attack, immediately materializing yourself and gaining the option to slash outward as you appear. While possessing an object, you also become undetectable, though you are limited in movement by that object's area until you leave it or you are banished from it. Once possession has occurred, the area around the object or wall that you are inhabiting fills with demonic energy. The longer you stay possessed in one area, the more demonic that area becomes. Eventually, this will alert survivors to an unholy presence in the area, though this will not specifically point you out to where you are possessing. While Valak is in play, there will be a special item called the Holy Pendant. Survivors may collect a holy pendant at a holy altar around the map and use it as an item. This will allow survivors to perform an exorcism. To perform an exorcism, survivors carrying the holy pendant may channel its divine power for a short duration. Note that this will not be instant, and Valak will have time to retaliate if she sees that you are trying to use it. By survivors performing this rite, they can banish the demons from the inhabited area. This will briefly stun Valak if you are within range, and it will force Valak out of the possessed state and back into a materialized form. Holy pendants will break after each use. Valak has 3 exclusive perks for their main kit. The first perk is going to be called False Prophet. Illusion is in the temptations of the demon. At a completed generator, you are able to apply an illusion that makes that generator appear incomplete for the next 30 seconds. At tier 1, 45 seconds at tier 2, and 60 seconds at tier 3 to all survivors, no matter what perks they are using. During this time, if a survivor attempts to repair the false generator, they will scream and become exposed to the killer for the next 3 seconds at tier 1, 5 seconds at tier 2, and 7 seconds at tier 3. Once the illusion is broken, the generator will immediately return back to normal. Valak's second exclusive perk is called Mark of the Defiler. Once the holy symbol of the nun, now tarnished. After hooking a survivor, that survivor becomes marked with this perk. A marked survivor's efficiency with using held items is reduced by 10% at tier 1, 20% at tier 2, and 30% at tier 3 for the next 40 seconds at tier 1, 50 at tier 2, and 60 seconds at tier 3. This means that a toolbox will work 30% less than it's meant to in speed when repairing or sabotaging hooks. Medical kits will heal 30% slower at tier 3, flashlights will take 30% longer to blind killers at tier 3, just to even out those potential bully squads that a killer may be facing. A note, just to make this ability not too overpowered, only one survivor can be marked at a time. Valak's last perk is called Intangible. The limitations of the real world mean nothing to you. After being stunned by a dropped pallet, the intangible perk activates. The next dropped pallid stun attempt on you within the next 60 seconds will not affect you. Instead, the pallid will phase right through your body as if you were a ghost. Just a note, this can only occur once per perk activation, and once you leave the pallet's area, it will become solid again. Cooldown for intangible is 200 seconds at tier 1, 180 seconds at tier 2, and 160 seconds at tier 3. Next up guys, we have some really cool new items for the game that I think will fix a lot of issues that I have as a solo player, while also giving the game a more team-based personality, which I think it is solely missing from its current layout. The first item we have is called the Spirit Book, a book powered by electrical energies of unearthly spirits. By writing in the book, you are capable of transmitting messages to those waiting on the other side. Spirit Book will have 30 seconds of use, and it will allow text chat communication to other survivors that are also in possession of a Spirit Book. Think of this as a mini in-game chat between survivors that will allow for a more communicative team play. I pictured this more of an item that's available in most house areas of a map that have some sort of table or bench, and it will appear quite frequently. The next item being added to the game is the Witch's Skull. A skull enchanted by a witch that allows voice communication over long distances. Think the sister item to the Spirit Book, but instead of text, this is for voice chat. The Witch's Skull will have 30 seconds of charge, and it will allow voice chat with other survivors that are also in possession of the Witch's Skull. As a fun and potentially dangerous addition, killers can hear the Witch's Skull voices while they are within proximity, though unless a survivor has a Witch's Skull, they will not be able to hear any other survivors that are currently using one, meaning that the item is crucial for chat between players. As this item will be optional, not everyone has to use it, but I think it will add a lot of needed team play tactics to survivors and us solo players that don't use Discord while playing. This will also rule out the potential toxic chat added, as if someone's worried about it, they can just not pick up the skull and they will not hear any chat from anyone else. The next item that we have is called the Battery Pack. The Battery Pack is a portable item capable of repairing other items' charges. It has 24 seconds of charge and can charge other survivors' held items while they are carrying them. It can also charge dropped items that are within your proximity while using the pack. Just a note, this can only charge one item at a time and it cannot stack its effect. And since it is quite a useful tool for a match, I was thinking that this particular item should be more on the very rare side in maps, but it can be equipped through the Blood Web as a pre-game item, giving players access to a more support style of role that can help allies in team scenarios against a deadly killer. And lastly guys, it wouldn't be fitting without a new killer map, and this map will be called the Carta Monastery, the ancient Romanian church featured in the Nun movies. This church will be filled with prayer rooms, corridors, and upstairs hallways, as well as passages that lead further down into the dark tombs and demonic areas of the map, to where Valak itself was sealed and summoned. I think adding some areas in the dungeons to where it is super dark and really hard to see, forcing players to use items such as flashlights, would also be a really neat addition to a horror-styled map, and the eerie atmosphere that'll just send chills up any player's spines. I think this would be a fantastic addition to the Dead by Daylight game, as most maps currently are just open fields and don't really provide much horror elements, so I think fans will love this. Anyway guys, what did you think of the chapter concept? Be sure to leave a comment and let me know. Thanks for watching the Dead by Daylight chapter concept for Corrupted Faith.